This is a 1990 420 SEL Mercedes Benz, and this is a 126 body style. What I'm going to do is remove the instrument cluster on the dashboard. But now these cars go from, I think it's 1984 to 91. So if you look at the instrument panel, they're all the same for all those years. But also the same method that I'm going to use right here is used for other Mercedes models. Okay, what I don't like here is my tachometer is giving me trouble, and my clock decided not to work. So I'm going to take this whole thing out and I'm going to replace that. So how I'm going to remove this section here is just with a simple screwdriver. And all you have to do is gently pry up so you don't scratch anything or anything else. Just be careful, it comes out. There you go. Now it's out. Now we have to get behind and take all the wires off. For people who are new to this kind of work or work on electrical stuff, I'd recommend you disconnect the battery. I am not going to. I've done this before. So okay, so I'm going to take these wires off one by one, and I'll show you how I took them off. There's one clip, and then here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they go into instrument panel lights, and Mercedes happens to label them 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. The next one is another connector. Okay. Here's the one that goes to the clock. The next is the speedometer that just pulls out. There's one for the temperature, and then there's a hose, a vacuum hose. That'll be for the vacuum gauge on the dashboard. And the final one is the final plug. It'll be this one right here. This is where the vacuum goes. This is where the speedometer goes. This one is for the temperature. This is for the other lights. Here is the clock, and here's another one, and here's these 4 dash lights. Okay, so I'm going to set this on the side. So here you're looking behind the dash. Here's that big plug. Here is the one for the vacuum. This is the speedometer. Here's the other plug that plugs in behind the speedometer. There's your temperature. This goes to the clock. And here's your 4 lights. So now I have 2 of these on my workbench here. Anyway, this is the one that I got out of the car, and I want to replace the tach and the clock. The speedometer is okay, all the gauges okay. Alright, so this is the one I got from my local junkyard. But I just don't want to replace the whole thing because it doesn't have the right miles on it, and I don't know if the gauges work, and mine do. All I wanted to do is take the tach and clock out of there. So I just have to be careful not to confuse these. So let's take off what I don't want. I'll move this wire out of the way. Now, in order to get over here, I'm going to have to take the speedometer and the temperature indicator off. So that's just 2 screws. Save that off to the side. Now there's 4 screws here. Gently just leave this out of the way. There's the 2 plastic parts. We're not worried about that. We'll put those back in. And once again, we want the tachometer and the clock. And there it is. It comes with the adjustment to change it, but we'll just wholesale replace that right out. Now let's do the other one. So I'm going to put this on this side so none of this stuff gets confused, because I don't want to put the wrong thing in. So once again, so I'll take that out. This is one I want. So I will put the one I don't want back in here. Okay, I'll leave that off to the side, because I can do that later on. Alright, so this is the one I want. So this one is the tack and clock that I want, but don't touch anything. So if you notice here, these are up there, upside down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the wires inside the dash tell you where these go. Alright, the next thing, let's put our speedometer back in. Okay, it has these 2 pieces of plastic that fell out. They only go one way, so you can't make a mistake. Here is, this groove goes here, there, and there. So just gently slips right in there. Okay, now I will just lift this up just so it doesn't fall out. Put that right in there like that. Okay, so what we've just done, we put a new, well, a different tachometer and clock. We left the speedometer and we left all these other gauges because they work. So, but if you wanted to, if your speedometer didn't work at this point in time, you could just get another one from a salvage yard, junkyard, whatever you want to call it, and you can just replace these. If you wanted to replace the other gauges, which were the gas gauge, temperature, and oil pressure, all you would have to do is take out these screws, take this whole plate out, and replace it. So, and this thing cost me, I think, $50, where if you just bought something from Mercedes, I can't even imagine what they would charge you for any of these parts. Like, for instance, if your temperature sensor didn't work, I don't know. Can't even imagine. Plus, it would be several hours, I'm sure, that they would charge you. Alright, now the next thing is, let's go and install this. Is to put this thing back in. And so, what we're going to do is start all the way from the end. Put this big plug in. It'll go here. Vacuum, speedometer, the temperature. Then this goes to the back of the speedometer, clock. See, the good thing is, they only go in one way. Okay, that's the connector. Now, the vacuum line. We can put the temperature sensor on. Put the speedometer in. Put the other. Plug in the clock. Then we have the wires. This one is, there's number 5. There's 4, 3, and 1. Okay, so you can see that everything's all lined up. There's no wires left. So now, just gently push it in, and away we go. Okay. So now, everything works. So now we're back to where we started. Have it all nicely all put together. We can adjust the clock for whatever time. And that really didn't take that much time. And like I say, a lot of these Mercedes are the same thing. You just pull them straight out. You hook from one corner, or you hook from the other, or you can get like a little hook and pull on both sides and pull them straight out.